Welcome back to On the Rise with the latest Canadian men's national team news, and today there's been a new Canada dual national that has been brought to light through Transfer Market and Canada Bible, who has broken it on Twitter, in Ali Aruna, who is currently playing for SC Braga's U23 side in Portugal. And this is very exciting to see more dual nationals popping up for the Canada, and especially another young center forward and striker who comes into our already huge depth pool of number 9s and attackers that we have in abundance now, growing throughout the Canada player pool. But this is very exciting to see another dual national come up and get more knowledge around dual nationals who are eligible for Canada. Is very exciting for the fans and of course the program, which will continue to grow through these exciting young players. And Ali Aruna right now, guys, is a 19-year-old center forward and striker with SC Braga in Portugal, playing for their U23 side. I'll admit right now, I don't know much on him. There's not a lot of details on Ali Aruna out there, but he's also playing with another Canadian dual national in Buchanan, who is also with SC Braga's B side. So that is two Canadian dual nationals in Portugal, contracted to the likes of SC Braga, which is extremely exciting for the program, for supporters, and of course for the squad, which can continue to move in the right direction. Having another number 9 to add to that player pool is massive. You just got to look at players who are playing up top right now for Canada who is extremely young. Just to name a few, the likes of DeAndre Kerr, who can play at center forward, is extremely exciting. One of the bright lights shining through this season for TFC, as well even Jason Russell-Rowe, who we all know so much about, been involved with Canada squads previously, and he's done very well. So these are some young Canadians to look through and to keep looking at and to see them break through and to keep them shining. And Ali Aruna, we're going to, of course, see more news around him now that we know he's a Canada dual national. Of course, I will have to ask Northern Football Podcast on their next podcast on if they know more about him, what they know about Ali Aruna, because I'm sure they know their details on him as they are amazing journalists. But it'll be very exciting to see what we can find out about Ali Aruna, and hopefully he can turn to be a Canada prospect and choose Canada over his other nation, guys, which is the People's Republic of Congo. So that's very interesting. It's not like a Lucas Diaz. It's not a top footballing nation. Canada is probably the more ideal destination for Ali Aruna. So for me, it'll be very interesting to see who he does choose, but I'd love to see his rise through football. But guys, there was more news throughout the day as we saw 3 Canadians in action and all playing in European football in the final of their qualification for European football this season for their clubs, as LOSC Lille's Jonathan David went against Rijeka in a huge match. The Croatian side leveled it, going ahead early on against LOSC Lille, taking a 24th minute lead, but LOSC Lille ended up getting a 2-1 win at home over Rijeka, and Jonathan David managed to get himself an assist on a beautiful ball, which saw Zagrova score in the 43rd minute, and their center back got a goal in the 89th minute to seal the win for LOSC Lille, and a huge win at home. But this is a very interesting match. I watched this match in its entirety. I had to watch it. For me, Jonathan David needs to leave LOSC Lille immediately. I know there's talk that he's probably going to stay now. He could potentially find himself getting a move later on, sometime in the end of this window as it's running down. Some team that's desperate, some team that could really need that number 9. But it's also being reported that he might be staying at LOSC Lille. And what I saw today is not going to be good for Jonathan David. This side lacks extreme creativity in the final third, and you just saw Jonathan David getting very little chances. Throughout the 90, I saw Jonathan David get one really good chance to kick off the match in the second half, where he could have scored, but it was an unbelievable save by the Rijeka goalkeeper. And besides that, chances really dried up for Jonathan David. He didn't get much touches on the ball. He hardly was involved in the play. He made some brilliant runs. But if you're not getting the ball fed to you as a number 9, as a striker, as a center forward, you're never going to flourish. And yes, they have some good players behind him, Zagrova, Remy Cabella, Haraldson, but for me, Haraldson looked absolutely lost today at LOSC Lille's performance. lacked creativity in the final third, wasn't able to find his number 9 in play, or even Remy Cabella. And this side looks lost when they get the ball up the pitch. They struggle to find Jonathan David making those cut-through runs through a back line. And it's going to be a interesting season if Jonathan David does stay at LOSC Lille. I know everyone says he needs to replicate that 20-plus goals, that 20-goal mark this season. But if you watch LOSC Lille, I think it'll be extremely difficult for him to hit that 20-goal mark. Because, yes, you can ask a number 9 to keep scoring goals, but how is he supposed to do that if he doesn't get the ball, if he doesn't have that creativity and that production level behind them? It's next to impossible. When you see Tottenham Hotspur seasons gone by with Harry Kane, you're seeing Harry Kane have to drop off massively to even get touches on the ball to create chances. And that's Harry Kane. That's the best striker in world football outside of Erling Haaland. And it's just, I don't know how this is going to work for Jonathan David this season. I love him. I think he's one of the best strikers in world football. But at LOSC Lille, it's going to be an interesting time of things. You need those creative players behind you. They have two nice number 6s in Andre and Angel Gomez. But Remy Cabella, Zagrova, and Haraldson struggle to create anything. So I really struggle to see what Jonathan David's going to be able to do this season. It's going to be moments of brilliance. It's going to be loading up on penalties. Unless this LOSC Lille side can start to figure out how to create something in the final third. And right now, they're looking extremely uninspiring. And as a Canadian supporter, as a diehard content creator, and fan of this national side and our players, it's very concerning to see what Jonathan David is going to have to work with this coming season for LOSC Lille if he doesn't get to find himself a transfer this end of the window. And even before we wrap up on the Jonathan David talk, there is more, as Josh Deming did tweet today, saying this, quote, "It looks like Jonathan David could stay at LOSC Lille this season, as it is being reported that Napoli, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, and a Premier League club want to sign him next summer, once there's only 1 year remaining on his contract, which more than likely means he will be cheaper." And I've talked about this multiple times on the channel, guys. This is just, it's obvious. It makes complete sense for the likes of Napoli, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, and a Premier League side, whoever that might be, to go for him next summer. It's a cheaper move and more viable because next summer his contract will be running down. It'll be much more cheaper. But also, these clubs aren't in desperate need for a number 9 right now. Napoli, I've talked about it many times. Victor Osimhen will 100% leave them next summer. And the likes of Kvaratskhelia, Kvicha Kvaratskhelia will leave them as well, the Georgian wonder kid. So that's why Napoli would want him next summer, and it would make complete sense. And Juventus, Dusan Vlahovic, will more than likely leave next summer as well. Whether that's Chelsea, whether that's Arsenal, whether it's Man United, he'll go as well. Atletico Madrid, their number 9s, they're all aging. Alvaro Morata, Memphis Depay. So they need a number 9. But why go for him now? When they all have stopgaps, they all have great number 9s right now. But next year, they're probably all going to move on. They're all going to age. And whoever that Premier League club is, if they want to splash the money, they can right now. But like they said, it's going to be cheaper next summer. So it's going to be an interesting time for Jonathan David. I don't know how he's going to fare with them. We know he's got goals in him. We know he got those penalties in him. We know he's got those moments of brilliance in him. But does he have that creative ability behind him? That's going to be the interesting thing to see. How it's going to go this season for Jonathan David. How many goals he will get. Which I'd love to hear how much you guys think he will score this season for LOSC Lille. Before we wrap up the video, guys, we still have 2 more players to talk about, and that was Milan Borjan, as his side in Slovan Bratislava managed to take home a 2-1 victory at home, just like Jonathan David's side did as well, which was a reoccurring theme today, guys, because all 3 of our Canadians started and managed 2-1 victories in their respective finals for their clubs to move on to Europe. As Slovan Bratislava got a 2-1 victory with Milan Borjan getting the start in goal. I wasn't able to watch this match as I was watching Jonathan David with LOSC Lille, but Milan Borjan only letting 1 goal in at home. I'm not sure how he did fare, but it's still very exciting to see him getting starts at an extremely high level and still playing at a top level in Europe. I love seeing that. He's not back in the CPL or in the MLS. He's playing where he should be. It shows his quality still, and it's great to see. And he's still, for me, he's still proving why he should be our number one when he's playing at that kind of a level in Europe. But I know that can be a huge debate for another day. But also, we saw a 2-1 victory for Club Brugge, as they were away from home in Spain at Osasuna, where they managed a 2-1 victory, with the likes of goals coming from Robert Skov-Olsen and De Kuiper, as well having a goal from the Argentine striker for Osasuna in Avila, who scored in the 78th minute, but De Kuiper went and matched that in the 80th, giving Club Brugge a 2-1 victory away from home, heading into that home leg coming up. But Tajon Buchanan got the start at right back once again, and I'm absolutely loving him at right back. Wasn't able to watch this, but you can just see from a goal coming from Robert Skov-Olsen on that right wing, there is so much creativity down that side. We've seen it all season for Club Brugge. The goals, the excitement, everything is really flowing on that right-hand flank for this team, whether it's been through Robert Skov-Olsen, through the likes of Tajon Buchanan, or Hans van Aken creating something in the middle for them. It has been brilliant on that flank. Tajon Buchanan went fully 75 minutes, the same as Robert Skov-Olsen, where they both did get subbed off, having a booking this match. No goal contribution today from Tajon Buchanan, but still a very exciting performance from our new right back. Guys, it was a brilliant day in the world of Canada football, whether it's from a dual national to the Jonathan David woes or Tajon Buchanan starring in Europe like our other three. Canadian football is definitely on the rise. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about everything from the world of football in Canada soccer. Drop a like, hit that follow button and sub button, and drop a comment. I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.